Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Christina Boyce and I am a certified personal trainer and P90X certified instructor. And what I really wanted to come and talk to you all about today is how I got where I am today. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who maybe wish or hope that they could do something different with their lives. Maybe you're not happy with your current profession, or maybe you just want to do a little bit more maybe in your free time to help others change their lives. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story, where I came from, and how I got here today. As I mentioned, or I probably didn't mention, I'm 38 years old. I'm a mother of 5. I have 3 beautiful children with my husband, as well as 2 wonderful stepchildren. I live in the sunny Las Vegas as of about 6 months ago, and I was actually raised in Washington, D.C. I decided as a young girl that I wanted to help people. I always loved fitness. I love the idea of helping people who really needed something better for themselves, something better with their lives. And that path initially took me to nursing. So I did go to nursing school. I went to Catholic University of America and get my bachelor's in science and nursing, and then decided to become a psychiatric registered nurse and work with the mentally ill population. And I really enjoyed my time working as a nurse in the hospital. I worked with people all the way from the state level that were really in the hospital because they were sent there by the court, all the way to more of a voluntary situation where people were coming to the hospital mostly because they were depressed, hopeless, and just really feeling really down about where they were going. I worked as a registered nurse in the hospital setting, in an acute care setting, for over 14 years in a couple of different hospitals. And I did very well in that environment. When I was before kids, I did it full time. I worked tons of hours. It was a great way to earn extra money. I learned a lot. I mean, I can't even tell you how much I learned. I had a lot of wonderful mentors along the way who taught me how to be a really great nurse. And even when I was a nurse, I wanted to be the best nurse I could be. I didn't want to just show up to work and get my job done. I wanted to really make a difference and have an impact, not only for my patients, but also for my peers. And so I immediately stepped into a leadership role once I went through that initial new nurse orientation period. And I did that for quite some time in the state hospital. After my children were born, however, it was a little more challenging to continue to work full-time. So I decided to move to a different setting that was a little less intense than the current setting that I was in, and also switched to a schedule that allowed me to spend more time with the kids. So I did what they call a weekend alternative, which means I worked every single weekend. I worked 12-hour shifts every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I worked, one day during the week. But that schedule allowed for my husband and I to be with our kids, and we didn't have to worry about childcare a great deal, which is, I'm sure you can imagine, can become quite expensive. And I really enjoyed my years working this particular schedule. Again, I learned a lot. Not only about nursing and about people, but just learned a lot about life. A lot of life lessons were learned there. I had some great mentors in that environment as well, and I once again found myself in a leadership role. What happened though is I really started to feel somewhat discouraged in the hospital setting. I felt like there wasn't a lot I could really do for the patients. There wasn't a lot of preventative medicine that could take place. By the time they got to me, they were at the very, very bottom of the barrel. In other words, life had really brought them down to a point where there was only Band-Aids that I could do for them at that point. And really we had what we called a revolving door. We had mentally ill people who rarely got well, who rarely were able to make real significant changes in their lives. And we also had what we called a lot of geriatric population. And this population was very complicated to work with. Not only did they have mental health issues, but they had issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, dementia, and Alzheimer's, to name a few. And I noticed that I was giving boatloads of medication. And what I found was that these medications were lifestyle. Their lifestyle was just that oh my gosh, they weren't taking care of themselves. They were experiencing a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. They were not taking time to put the right foods in their body, certainly weren't taking enough time to exercise. And that long-term effect, I was seeing what that looked like. And I knew that that's not where I wanted to go. I knew that's not where I want my family to go. And I knew that that's where I wanted to be able to make the difference. And so at that time, I decided to pursue personal training. And you may be wondering, why personal training? Well, maybe what I didn't tell you yet is that I was a college athlete. I played field hockey, and I always enjoyed fitness. I went to the gym pretty much on a regular basis, even through my pregnancies, and really enjoyed being in that setting, working out, fitness. And so what I decided was that, hey, let me give something new a try. Let me give personal training a try. Because I felt like, gosh, Christina, maybe that would be the place where I could really make a difference in people's lives. That preventative medicine, maybe do some education on ways to take care of your body, ways to make fitness exciting, ways to make it challenging and fulfilling, ways that fitness can actually give people hope and increase people's self-confidence and make them feel good about themselves. So I decided to give personal training a try. I went and got certified with NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine, and I got hired as a trainer at Gold's Gym in Annandale, Virginia. And I love being in the hospital. So what I would do is I would train clients in the morning, and that would be anywhere from 5 to 6 clients. And then I would go home, quickly change my clothes and shower, and go to work my evening shift in the hospital. And I did this for about 2 years. And I learned a lot. I had some absolutely amazing clients from all different spectrums. I had clients who were 16 years old all the way up to 90 years old. I kid you not, I had a 90-year-old client. I mean, I learned how to work with athletes. I learned how to work with people who had never worked out before. I learned how to work out with former athletes, how to work out with people who were overweight, how to work out with people who had different disabilities. You know, mind you, I was still a nurse, and so frequently the gym would assign me to clients who had disabilities, you know, physical disabilities. They had MS, they had fibromyalgia, they had osteoarthritis. I would typically get those clients, and so I had to really do my research and develop and design programs that made sense for them, where they were and where they wanted to go. So I learned a lot in that environment, but honestly it got tough. It got tough working 2 different jobs. So I had to make a decision. Did I want to, you know, say, hey, this has been great, I had a great time training, but you know, I've got to stick with nursing, that's what I went to school for? Or was I going to transition out of nursing and start all the way from scratch and you know, build up my training career? And it was a tough decision. However, I did decide to go with my passion, and my passion and my heart was really, really with training. And so I did decide to leave the nursing setting and become a full-time trainer. And initially I decided to do this on my own. I decided to start my own business. So my husband and I started a business called Boyce Body Speed, which not only did we train people one-on-one, but we also do sports conditioning for the youth population. And that became my full-time job. You know, I did some marketing, I had to get clients, and you know, because I was well known in the community, there was a lot of word of mouth, which is where I got a lot of my clients as well. And so I was really able to build myself up a schedule that was, you know, pretty solid schedule. And things were going well. But there was still something missing. There was still something missing for me, and that's when I decided to partner with Beachbody. Because what I may not have mentioned to you all is that along the way, I actually completed a round of P90X and got into the absolute best shape of my life. And as a result of doing P90X, I went on to complete, about a half dozen half marathons, about 10 10Ks, and 4 full marathons. So my fitness level was just, you know, it was just phenomenal after doing a round of P90X. And that really added a lot of value to my business as well. Because what was happening was people everywhere I went were asking me about what I was doing and how I had gotten into such good shape. And so partnering with Beachbody really added that missing link to my personal training business. And that was when my business just absolutely began to explode. And you know, I want to mention to you all, because one of the questions they ask in, you know, for this master training opportunity is, what was one of the most fulfilling points of your life? And you know, being selected to be in P90X2 was absolutely amazing, and it's something that just really transformed my life. And I'll